It's GT with the GT Sports Podcast coming at you for a pre-Super Bowl edition. We're going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers going at it again. They went at it back in 2020. As you guys can probably remember that game. You can remember Patrick Mahomes tossing up a ball, Tyreek Hill going to get it. It was a good Super Bowl game. Some roster changes, obviously. Jimmy G was the quarterback for the 49ers at that point in time. Patrick Mahomes is obviously still the Chiefs. So you're missing Tyreek Hill from that matchup as well. So it's going to be a little bit different this time around. Jimmy G had a decent game. He was 20 for 31 for 219, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. So Kansas City's defense was able to do some things to fluster him a little bit. They got after him in the pocket, and which was good. And then you look at Mahomes, 26 for 42, 286, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He also did a pretty darn good job in this game as well. The running game for the Kansas City Chiefs, when they had Williams back at running back, he had 104 yards and a touchdown. So they ran the ball very well, very effective. Mostert was the running back for the 49ers at that time. I think he had like 56 yards rushing, if I remember right, somewhere in the 50 to low 60 range. Hill, 9 receptions, 105 yards. The Niners and the Chiefs, it was a good game. It was 10-10 at half. The Niners came out in the third quarter, went up 10 points. It was 20-10, and then Kansas City just kind of took off from there, scoring 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter for them to be able to get the win. I think that this game is going to be a lot different. Obviously, rosters are different. Some of the key pieces are still there. George Kittle is still there for the 49ers. Defensively, they're still pretty well intact as far as what they had then. The addition of Chase Young, which we haven't really seen much out of Chase Young, which kind of shocks me a little bit. He had a lack of effort on Washington. I think that's the reason why they traded him. And I think the 49ers were thinking that they were getting a steal, but it hasn't really panned out as well so far. So we'll just kind of see what happens with that as we kind of go forward. Like I said, it's going to be a different game. Jimmy G's not the quarterback. I think that the Niners have a better quarterback this time around than Jimmy G. I just remember him overthrowing a receiver for a touchdown, a huge touchdown. It could have blown the game wide open. And one of the bigger plays in the game. So I do remember him overthrowing that, and he kind of missed on a couple passes that he should have hit. I think the pressure of the moment got to him. I think Brock Purdy's definitely another tier or two better than Jimmy G. I thought Jimmy G was just kind of a serviceable quarterback. He can be a decent mid to back range starter. Like if you're looking for somebody just to kind of hold a season down while you find your next quarterback, he's kind of like a little bit better than a Gardner Minshew, but I would put him in that same category. Definitely wouldn't have him as a starting quarterback for a long period of time. So, so he struggled. He had some struggles in that game, a couple picks. Mahomes threw a couple picks as well. So, the 49ers defense got after him a little bit. I think that in that game, I think that the Chiefs had better weapons than they do in this game. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see kind of what happens as far as the weapons go. And I'm interested to see what Andy Reid does. He's a great coach, does a great job of getting his guys ready for games. So I'm interested to kind of see what he does in this game as far as scheme-wise. I think they've got some speed. They got Hardman back as long as he doesn't fumble on the goal line. But Rashee Rice is going to be he's a good dude. He's a bigger, more physical receiver, catches the ball over the middle, can catch the ball outside. Obviously, we know what Travis Kelce's all about. But I think that they have a similar running game to what they had then with Williams. He's a downhill runner. I think Pacheco's similar. I look for Pacheco to have a decent game. Maybe he'll probably get somewhere in that 80 to 100-yard range on like 17 to 20 touches. So I expect him to have a good average. I expect him to also score a touchdown in this game. The 49ers, as you saw against the Lions, they struggle against the run, heavily struggle against the run. So I think Andy Reid's going to come out there and establish that first. I think that's going to be key. I mean, you saw what they did to the Baltimore Ravens. They kind of took the Baltimore Ravens game plan and did what I thought Baltimore was going to do. And so I was kind of shocked how physical they were. I think they'll take that into this game because I think if you come out and you just try to pass on the 49ers, I think you're going to have a problem. Not to say that their back end coverage is any good, but I think they can get after the quarterback. Their linebackers are rangy. I think they can force a pick in the game. You could definitely force a turnover. I think Chase Young's going to have a good game this game. I think that he kind of been laying under the radar. All he's got to do is beat single man. I mean, if he can beat single man, he'll be good because, they have a pretty good defensive line. And so, you look for him to be able to kind of beat that single guy off the edge and maybe get a sack or two this game. I think Patrick Mahomes has a decent game. I think he gets forced into one interception, but I can see him putting up 2 touchdowns on his defense, maybe a third. I can see this being a decently high-scoring game. I think that the 49ers offense they're gonna run the ball with CMC, Christian, and I think he'll have a great game too, similar to what I said for Pacheco, about that 100-yard range with a touchdown. I think Deebo Samuel gets open, pops free. I think George Kittle gets loose a little bit. I think Brock Purdy turns it around. I know there was some criticism on him because he was struggling in the game against the Lions. I think some people said the ball was wet. I said that in my last podcast, that it doesn't matter if the ball was wet or not. I don't make excuses for quarterbacks in games like that because they have to be. Football is a game that's played in the elements. And so I think you have to play in the elements to be able to succeed, and you have to prove that you can get it done in the elements. So, like I said, different rosters. I think it's going to be a close game. I think touchdown or less for the winner. I think that the Niners have a better team, but I think the better quarterback and coach makes a huge difference. It kind of brings the team over the gap because I honestly thought Baltimore was a better team as well. Now Buffalo, I don't think Buffalo was a better team than the Chiefs. I don't think the Dolphins were a better team than the Chiefs either. I think the Chiefs talent-wise are better than those two teams because you look at Buffalo and all the injuries that they had, missing a lot of key pieces. So, yeah, I don't think that they were going to be one of those pieces that was going to be exemplary. So, well, I guess I'll get to it. I was going to make my pick today. It was tough. I was kind of teetering back and forth about the pick. I know, so I got some 49er fan friends that are going to hate me, but I think we're going to go ahead and rock with my homeboy again. Kansas City gets another Super Bowl win. I got them winning 30-27. Field goal at the end. Patrick Mahomes has the ball last. He takes him down the field. He gets it done. I need to just put this back up here. So that way, I mean, I'm a Colts fan, but I live in Kansas, so I gotta represent the Chiefs a little bit. I think that the coaching back and forth chess match. I think Andy Reid wins that chess match. And like I said, I think they got the best player on the field, and it ain't even close. Patrick Mahomes gets it done. He gets another Super Bowl ring, and then this is one of those seasons where the Chiefs can chalk it up and write it down and say, "Damn, I can't believe we got here, but we did," and got the win. And these are the type of seasons that define dynasties. When you're supposed to have a down year and you still can get it done, as they're kind of chasing the Patriots. And I think that this definitely puts them on that next tier, puts Mahomes on that next level as far as quarterbacking goes. So, like I said, I got Kansas City winning 30-27 in a great Super Bowl matchup. I hope you guys have a good week. After the Super Bowl, we'll kind of dive into some team-by-team analysis. We'll look at the draft. We'll definitely look at the Indianapolis Colts, what I think they'll do with that 15 overall pick. Will we re-sign Michael Pittman? It's going to be huge. Do I think Michael Pittman's worth $23 million a year? Another question that needs to be answered. We'll dive into some of the Chiefs, things that they're going to do in the offseason since they're the next closest team to us, and we'll just kind of take it from there. So good luck to both teams. I hope you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl this week. We'll check you again soon.